Hello everyone. I decided to post another video to elaborate a little bit on my last video. I feel like that's a really important topic, and there are some people that just don't have the time to devote hours to, to gather information about this. And so I thought that in case this may make it a little bit easier for somebody, which there are other videos and other articles out there that you can find that have all of this information and more. I thought I would make just a little compilation of facts here, so that way you can kind of start to form an opinion and start to understand what's going on here. Basically what I'm going to read, I named it the United Nations Agenda 21 or Sustainable Development. And this is all stuff that can be proved. I'm not lying to you, it's all facts. You can look it up yourself. There's books out there that you can find with information in it, etc. I'm going to get started. In the early 1980s, the United Nations requested a report to see what could be done to protect the planet from misuse of natural resources and poverty. Gro Harlem Brundtland, the Prime Minister of Norway for 3 terms, a physician and a scientist as well. And then there was Maurice Strong, who is a Canadian entrepreneur. Also, he was a former Undersecretary General of the United Nations, meaning that he acted in a second-to-command role to an appointed minister or a government official, which is actually stated in the definition of his position if you look that up. And I wonder if you can guess who he was considered second-hand man to, or right-hand man to. You may be surprised. I'm going to leave that one to be a surprise for you in case you don't know that. So moving on. So them two worked together, excuse my cat, along with others to create a report which ended up in a book called Our Common Future, which you can purchase this online. This book is a formal announcement of the changes coming to the environmental development on a global scale. Please don't. He likes to freaking climb on everything. I love you to death, but not right now, okay? Not right now, honey. Anyways, I'm gonna just kind of start over. This book, it is a formal announcement of developmental changes coming, environmental development on a global scale, which that's quite large. That is the entire world. And the end result of this book, so there were 2 more books that were created, which basically resulted in the last book, which was approximately 900 pages long, and it implements an action plan. So it's like, this is like the final thing, this is what we're going to do, and we have to carry this out according to this book, or this report, and our beliefs in this system. And so basically this is an agenda set in place for the year 2000 and after. This agenda is self-proclaimed as a comprehensive plan of action to be taken globally, nationally, and locally by organizations of the United Nations system, which, honestly, this is a socialist philosophy, and this should not be taken lightly. I mean, do you remember any socialists in our history? I'm pretty sure that you do. I really hope that you do. Anyways, basically, what will happen if we do take this lightly is the elite, or the most wealthy, you could say, will end up having complete control over everything. And truth be told, our last 3 presidents have actually signed documents allowing this system to be implemented within our community, our country. And this is going on around the world. This is not only, intended for the United States. This is like a world domination type of thing, and you will start to get that vibe once you really start researching things more, and watching people speak, and even read the actual report itself. You might start to get some goosebumps there. Anyways, for example, George Bush Sr., he was actually present at the first conference, which was held in the early 90s, and he established this plan into effect on behalf of the United States without our permission. Without our permission at that time, which honestly didn't really do much at that time, but later on, when Bill Clinton was in office, and of course, other organizations, and now Barack Obama, that was continued. And actually, you may not know this, but Barack Obama actually signed an executive order for Agenda 21, this time last year in 2011, which actually is implementing this plan to take effect into 16% of our United States of America. This is happening right now, and there are people being affected by these ridiculous rules. And there's so many aspects of our life that are going to be affected by this if we let it continue. I'm telling you. Here are some things in this actual report that you will find for yourself if you research on your own what's not considered sustainable. I'm going to get right into this. Private property, fences and dams, animals with large hooves or grazing of livestock, fossil fuels, golf courses and ski runs, consumerism, irrigation, paved roads, commercial agriculture, herbicides and pesticides, pastures, farmlands, and smaller families living on their own property. And there's so many more. I mean, that's just a tiny little list of things that are going to affect us. So, by executive order, actually, there's a plan to create stacked up buildings, as you will learn if you keep researching this, which are going to be stuffed basically with people to conserve space and energy. And I really just don't think this is going to end well. But you know what really, really bothers me the most about that is if you're a sustainable developer, then you are not affected by these rules. You get to keep your home, you get to keep your porch and your garage and your car and all of that stuff. Can you fucking believe that? Can you believe that? Hell no. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair at all. And I don't see why nobody should stand up for themselves. If this entire world goes down under a select few of people, I swear I have lost complete faith in humanity, and I am ashamed to be a part of it. Here on Earth, anyways. Absolutely ashamed, and it's really too damn bad. I'm constantly thinking about what can I do, and it's not only because I'm crazy, it's because I actually give a shit. I give a shit, not only about myself, but about my family, and about friends that don't really seem to give a shit about me, but I still give a shit, and also, everybody. I mean, the entire world, I think, deserves to live freely and passionately, and express themselves in however the fuck they want. So, I mean, this is just me saying this is bullshit. Anyways, you can go to a website. I'll link it below. You can look at this map that is officially documented in the book, the final result. And you can look for this yourself. There's areas that are color coded as to what they will coordinate with certain actions, meaning like certain areas there will be no humans, certain areas they will be highly regulated, certain areas will be living areas for humans, but very, very scarcely, and just things like that. So it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. And if you look at that map, you might actually be pretty pissed off. I'm actually going to describe exactly what you're going to see in this map. And I need to hurry because I need to go cook dinner. I'm hungry. The red areas are completely off limits to any activity or humans, period. So you can imagine what that means. The yellow areas will be areas in which all human activity will be highly controlled. And the black dots on this map are areas where humans will be compacted in areas, as I mentioned before, like tall buildings and things like that. And there's so much more detail on this. I mean, I cannot sit here and explain everything to you in detail. I mean, I have a limited amount of time. I have less than a minute left. The last thing I want to say is this is all coming from American tax dollars, and something that I think pisses me off. Our founding fathers would have stood up against this government, especially when it grew too large. And they would have stood up and demanded that we all live the way that we are intended to, instead of manipulating humanity. And they busted their asses for this nation to be free. And what do? We just spit in their face. We ignore it and we turn our cheeks. And I'm just going to leave you with this last little quote. And this by John Adams. And it says, "Property must be secure, or liberty cannot exist."